What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital. We're here with Shafin Tejani, CEO of Victory Square Technologies. How are you doing today, Shafin?
I'm good, thank you, man. Thanks for having me, brother.
Yeah, it's nice to have you back. I can't believe it's been over a year since we last spoke. It feels like it's just been a couple of months. So I'd love to hear some updates on Victory Square.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, just a quick refresher for the audience. Victory Square was created in 2017. Our mission was to democratize access to some of the next best tech companies from around the world, give investors early ground floor access to these, next tech giants before they're giants. We have a diverse portfolio of companies covering digital health, gaming, blockchain, VR, AR, cybersecurity, cloud computing. VST is audited, liquid and transparent. We're listed on the CSC in Canada, the Frankfurt in Europe, and the OTCQX in the US. And investors get a chance to invest alongside the management and myself. So just a bit of a refresher on VST. What we've been up to, so it's been a busy, since we last spoke, it's been a very busy year and a bit. At the beginning of 2020, we started off at 5 cents a share, very minimal, trading volume. And we had 3 goals in 2020. Those goals were to increase our share price. We ended 2020 at 55 cents a share and over 1 million shares traded daily. So one goal that we set at the beginning of the year, and we achieved it, which was great. The second was to diversify our investor base. So we closed, an upsized and oversubscribed financing with Gravitas in November. So another big objective of ours. And the third was to spin out Fans Unite. So Fans Unite was one of the early portfolio companies in Victory Square, which we spun out in May of 2020 and closed the year off. I think their market cap hit around 160, 170 million Canadian dollars. So those were the 3, big goals for last year, and we hit on all of them. The next 6 to 12 months for 2021 are super exciting, and the goal is to continue that momentum of increasing share price, potentially looking at another financing later on in the year, and diversifying our investor base to new institutions, and to spin out some additional portfolio companies. More specifically, after the success of Fans Unite, we have 2 more portfolio companies ready to be spun out. Immersive Technologies, which is our company focused in the virtual and augmented reality space, and Game On, which is in the the gaming and esports side. And we think after the success of Fans Unite, both of those companies are going to be very well received. And I think what it'll do too is, after Fans Unite, Immersive, and Game On, it'll really validate VST's ability to find these next gen companies early, build and grow them, and unlock value for shareholders, and also set the tone. I mean, there's 18 other portfolio companies under the hopper, so with 3 successes, it kind of identifies a pattern. The other big thing that we're up to for and big goal for this year is really expanding on our digital health business. Last year in August, one of our digital health and diagnostic companies had a test that was approved as a rapid test approved for COVID that grew in Europe, Latin America, and the US. And it really set the tone and really give us a leg up and momentum with that portfolio as a whole. So this year, we just acquired a company called Hydrate, an on-demand, on-site, health and wellness company that's providing services like Botox, IV drip, and other types of telehealth services. We've got a telehealth business called Discreet Care, which is launching in the next month, and another telehealth product for the hospitality space. So, within that, there's over 10,000 health professionals throughout the U.S. and in over 50 states. We've got next day prescription delivery, and over 16 point of care diagnostic tests. So that health portfolio for us is going to be a big objective this year. given the momentum that we had in Q3 and Q4. Ultimately, the spin out of immersive Game On and the focus on the digital health business, we think will ultimately allow us to continue to deliver significant year over year growth. So improve our our cash flow, net income, and increase the value of the assets in our investments. Those are the main focuses, I think, for this year.
It's amazing what you guys are up to, and in so many high growth sectors. So let's talk about your recent news. So VSC announced the creation of the world's first COVID safe location based entertainment virtual reality division. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, so just taking a step aside, this, the overall, this kind of really highlights our thesis. We find and identify an opportunity that no one is servicing. So you mentioned this in the in the announcement. It's the creation of the world's first ever free roam interactive kind of VR franchise attraction. So no one was doing it. We identified a big opportunity. It's not only enough to identify a big opportunity. You need to have an experienced team to be able to execute and solve this. So we put together a team. So Immersive put together a team of some of the top minds in the the VR, AR, and location-based space to work on this project. There's a really large kind of thought leader in the space called The Void, which initially was based out of Utah, and unfortunately they ran into some challenging times. And Immersive was able to work with some of the top minds there to really build this experience. So not only identifying an opportunity that no one was doing, they brought on a world-class team to be able to build and execute on this. And then again, execution is everything. So many times you see people with great ideas, they get some people together, but really having the right game plan and having the resources to to be able to kind of execute. So we're excited about that project. The first experience will drop in the summer, and then they've just got a domino effect of other exhibitions kind of coming through after that.
Very exciting. So Victory Square Technologies, let's talk a little bit about your recent acquisition, or at least the binding letter. You guys put out a binding letter of intent to acquire, is it IV Hydrate? Is that the correct way to say it?
Yeah.
Okay, IV Hydrate, an on-demand and on-site mobile health, pharmaceutical, and wellness service provider across the United States. Let's hear more about this recent acquisition.
Yeah, so prior to this acquisition, which was just recent, we already had a lot of success in the digital health kind of space, and our strategy kind of was predicated by the fact that we had built up a network of over 10,000 health professionals across all 50 states in the U.S. And I mentioned earlier, we had a 503 pharmacy license to be able to deliver next day prescriptions. Mm-hmm. But what this did is this really fit into the overall strategy. Prior to the Hydrate acquisition, we were providing telehealth services, so discrete care and hospitality, but all on a technology platform. What Hydrate did is it allowed us to do three things. One was on-site and on-demand service. So now we can go out and we have the resources and the teams in a variety of different states to be able to go on site to provide health services for individuals, but also an extension on the types of services that we're already offering. So within discrete care and our hospitality telehealth products, we were dealing with embarrassing kind of treatments or travel care, like within the hospitality space. What Hydrate did is they were focused on IV drip, point of care lab testing that they could do at home. But one of the biggest market segments we've seen is the Botox and kind of cosmetic side. And they had some amazing relationships with providers in that space and a really good pipeline of in distribution. So it was a great acquisition for us, in that it allowed us to increase our team, expand our product offering of services, and then more importantly, it added customers and revenues to the bottom line.
Wonderful. So can you give us an update on your operations in the Brazilian market?
Yeah. So, this with respect to the health stuff. So we've always had an investment in a focus on this space, but our portfolio company in Brazil, Victory Square Health, or as they're also called Safe Test, they had originally built, kind of model around diagnostic testing, specifically rapid testing. They had a variety of different, rapid tests kind of in their pipeline. And one of their tests, which was this 15-minute rapid COVID test, with what was happening last year, started to get a lot of attention because they were one of the first groups that had received approvals in the U.S. and in Latin America and Europe. And what that did is that allowed them to not only establish their brand globally, but it allowed them to establish relationships with regulatory bodies in Europe, the US, and throughout South America, which then allowed them to develop relationships with distributors who had been servicing hospitals, retail, pharmacies. And then they had a product that everyone wanted. Like their test was in heavy demand in Brazil and some of the surrounding Mercosur countries, with COVID going rampant in those regions. So they had a product that a large base of customers wanted. So with having said all of that, they built a really, really good foundation to add additional tests or additional health services onto that. So right now, what they focused on for this year, to build off of the momentum from their COVID test is, we'll be launching and licensing our entire telehealth portfolio to them to be able to service Brazil first, and then they'll look at Argentina and some of the other surrounding kind of Mercosur countries. So they've got a ton of momentum, and we've seen the digital health space kind of explode in the U.S. and Canada. And it, by nature, health doesn't matter where you are. Health is a key part of everybody's life. That by being a first mover in a large market like Brazil, we think that they have a huge advantage of being able to be to capture market share, which ultimately will be huge for us as we're a large shareholder of that company.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm a big believer and supporter in telehealth. I definitely think it's a future. So what's the one thing you're most excited about for VST in the next, let's say, 12 months?
There's a lot of things to be excited about, but this is kind of for any parent out there. They might get this analogy, but it's almost like you're expecting the birth of your child, and you've been waiting for it to come out and into the world. And so for us, one of the most exciting things is the spin out of these portfolio companies. They've kind of been incubated. We've seen their teams grow. We've seen them, get customer market fit. We've seen them, start to commercialize. We see the momentum, and now being able to kind of unleash and unlock that onto the market is super exciting because you get a chance to see those businesses grow and realize their true value, and ultimately it impacts our business and our bottom line because it's under the hood of VST, most people wouldn't really know much about the company or what the value is. So we're so excited to kind of see this happen. And there's 3 companies that are going to be spun out this year, 2 which I mentioned earlier, Immersive and Game On, which are going to come out quicker. But that's the most exciting thing I think right now for us. And ultimately it's just growth. I think those things help really validate our business model. So that growth I think is going to equal increased cash flow, income, margins, assets, ultimately get us closer to unlocking, value for shareholders for VST.
That's awesome. It's like all that hard work. 2021's finally your year to kind of, like you said, spin them out and have it shine. So I'm pretty excited to continue to cover your story. And where's the best place for our viewers to get more info about VST?
So, there's a couple of ways. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Twitter. I think we have an IG page as well. So you can go to any of those links and check us out. The 2 best ways I would say though are to go to our website, victorysquare.com, and it'll have a link to all those social channels. But sign up for our newsletter. If you sign up for our newsletter, you'll get weekly updates on on things that we're pushing out, what's happening behind the scenes with our portfolio companies. We have a variety of content to get to know the portfolio a bit better. And also, I'm on LinkedIn, so you can always follow me on LinkedIn. My name is Shafin Diamond, Shafin, Diamond, and we're always pushing out content so you get an idea of who the team behind VST is, and what are the things we're interested in, and what we're up to.
Thank you so much, Shafin. Well, it's been a pleasure, and I look forward to providing our audience with more updates as 2021 looks pretty exciting for you guys.
Thanks so much. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Yep, have a good one. All right, guys, that wraps up the video. Thank you so much for watching. I just wanted to say, if you do support me, the channel, and all these videos, then kindly smash that like button along with hitting the subscribe button and the bell for notifications for future videos. I did also want to say, check the disclaimer down below. This video was sponsored by the company that we are talking about today. So check the disclaimer, full disclosure, and we're out of here. Always remember, guys, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you make your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. We'll see you guys in our next video.